Well, hello and welcome to another video on this channel. So this is not gonna be a starting point of any series or anything, any playlist. This is just a video to fetch contact list from your phone, mobile device, your phone memory basically. Um, so I'm not gonna use Jetpack Compose in this kind of videos before I release Jetpack Compose playlist. And believe me, I am working my best on creating that playlist, but it is taking time because I just want to focus on the quality of content. So to be honest, Jetpack Compose is relatively new for me as well. I'm not I don't have that much of a practice of using Jetpack Compose personally. So to create quality content, I just want to make sure that whatever I try to explain in regards to Jetpack Compose is easy to understand, and that's why it is taking a bit time. So I'm sorry for that, but I assure you I'll have that playlist up as soon as possible. And before I have that on YouTube, whatever videos that we're gonna create will be using XML layouts. So anyway, this video is about fetching contact lists from your mobile device, and without wasting time, let's just get started with it. So first of all, we need permissions, right? Obviously, to fetch contact list from your phone, we need a permission. So we will use a library. I'm just gonna paste this library here, which is easy permission library. And before I forget, we also need to include view binding in this project. So um, build features, view binding to true. Now sync the project, and I will see you at the end of this syncing. Oh, that was quick. I thought it would take time, but it was quick. So anyway, first of all, we are gonna use Recyclerview to display the contact list, right? So let's create a layout resource file, and what should we name it? Item contact. Yep, that's a cool name. Anyway, so in here we will have two fields. One is to display the name of the person, and one is to display the contact number, right? So we will have text view for them. um, Text view width will be wrap content, height wrap content, text sorry text size will be 20 sp. Then just for demonstration, we can have name, text is name. um, Text style, should I make it bold? Instead of bold, let's just change text color. Text color, it will be at color black. And obviously we need to apply sorry UI. Yes, we need to have the constraints, as it is the constraint layout, and I'm gonna have it right here somewhere. And obviously it's not gonna have the parent layout is not gonna have the match parent. Instead it will have wrap content as height. Then we can copy this text view. What happened? Copy this text view, and this is gonna be like 16 dp. Color is not gonna be black, it's gonna be default gray. And here we can have +1 1 2 3 7 9 or whatever, right? It doesn't matter. And I'm gonna drag it to right at the bottom. Well, actually, let's go to design layout, and instead of giving the constraint top to parent, we can have it at the bottom of name, so it will be a lot easier for us. And margin top will be 16 dp, but I don't know why it is not well, that, to be honest, after using Jetpack Compose, using XML is kind of a pain. Let me just change this to match parent, and then we can change it again. Let's go to design, name. Oh, that makes sense. This will be to parent. Why it's not moving? Parent. Yep, there it is. Now we can have it here, and this constraint will be at the bottom of name. I think I messed up somewhere. Yep, this constraint will be at the bottom of name, and the margin will be 8 dp, somewhere around here. 16, and this one will have 16. Oh, sorry, this one will have 16 as well. So yeah, it looks a bit nicer now. Sorry about that. And now we can change this one to wrap content, so it is wrapped around. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that was well, hard, I would say, after using Jetpack Compose. Anyway, we got rid of the designing part quite easily. So anyway, now we can work on permissions. We should first work on permissions. So in main activity, we will first create private lit init var binding type activity main binding. Binding equals to activity main binding dot inflator. We'll use layout inflator, and well, view equals to binding dot root, and we can just set this view here. Right, now first we need to check for the user permission, so we can create a function for that. But before that, no, let's just create a function for that. Check contact permissions, and let's create that function right here. Okay, so this function will return boolean, and we can check if okay, so we can create this with the help of an object, because I don't want everything to be included in one file. So for the sake of ease, I'm just gonna create another Kotlin file which I'm gonna name permission tracking, and it should be object, not a class. Permission tracking, and in here we can create another function. Function has contact permission, and this we can use context. We will need context here, and it will return boolean again, equals to easy permissions dot has permissions, and we can use pass context, and we can now mention whatever permissions we need for our application. So android dot manifest dot permission dot read contact. We don't need write contact, but just in case, I'm just gonna go with write contact as well. So yeah, that we have our permission tracking function object. Now we can use that object here, permission tracking dot has permission, then we can pass this as a context, and if we have permission, basically it will return true. And if we don't have permission, before it will return false. But we also need to consider one more scenario here, is about if user is using Android OS later than Oreo, we will need to consider we will need to code that separately. So we'll have else if block, else if, and sorry, in here we can check for the condition if build dot version dot stk int. We need to import build stk int is greater than build dot version codes dot oreo, which is o. If that is the case, we want to check easy permissions dot request permissions. We need to pass host, then we can pass some sort of message like you will need to accept the permission in order to run the application. Then we need a request code. We can pass any integer here, and then we can pass the whichever permissions we want, right? So again, android dot manifest, sorry, android dot manifest dot permission dot read contacts, and same way write contacts. So yes, that's it. We also need to return true here, return true. Something is not right. I don't know what is, because it is showing me error here. I don't know, it should not be showing me any error. If this I'm missing some block here. What does it say? A return expression required. Oh, okay, yeah, I forgot return, and here return, there it is. Okay, now we have this function which we can use everywhere. Now this activity will also implement easy permissions. Oh, sorry, it's already, the implementation is already there, so we just need to write easy permissions. So dot permissions callbacks, and if we'll have us implement two more method. Come on, implement member functions, so that we have on permission granted. We don't need to do anything in that function, but we need to focus on permission denied. If a user denies a permission, we need to ask him to grant that permission again. So we will call this check permission function again if the user has denied the permissions. So if we check if easy permissions dot some permissions some permissions permanently denied. If user permanently denies the permissions, in that case we will open up app settings dialog. We will take him to the settings of the application, and then from there he can give the permission permanently. So app settings dialog dot builder, and we can pass this dot build dot show, else just call the check permission function, and that's it. If some permission permanently denied, oh yep, we forgot to pass one more permissions here. Okay, now that we have all the permissions, we can call this check permissions function here, and if it has the permissions, so we can wrap this with if condition. If it is true, if it is returning the true, we can fetch the contact list and set it to our Recyclerview. So now let's work on our Recyclerview adapter. So I'm gonna create another class for our Recyclerview adapter, RCV adapter, and this class will receive contact list. So well, contact list of type contact model. Okay, we don't have this class yet, so let's create contact model. And this will be a data class, so select data class from here, contact model, and in here we will have two things. One is display name of type string, and well, number of type string. That's it. So now we can go back to RCV adapter, and this will inherit from Recyclerview adapter RCV adapter dot my view holder. And we don't have this class yet, so let's create an inner class, my view holder. And as we are using view binding, so we can use binding of type item contact binding, that is, and it will inherit from Recyclerview view holder, and we can pass binding root, that is. And inside this inner class we can have two fields. We basically have two text views. So one is for name, well, name TV. Yeah, we can name it name TV equals to binding dot well, we haven't given any IDs yet, so let's go to item contact here and we give IDs. So this is name TV, and we have to use this ID here as well, name TV, and we can give ID to here, number TV. Right, and now let's go back to RCV adapter, name TV, well, number TV equals to binding dot number TV. I'm going fast because we already know how to deal with Recyclerview adapter. Right, now implement member functions of Recyclerview. There are 3 of them. So in get item count, that will be equals to contact list dot size, contact list dot size. Oh, it will be the contact list will be of type array list of type contact model. My bad. So contact list dot size, there it is. And in on bind view holder, we can have well, item equals to contact list position, and we can set the values to the relative text fields. So holder dot binding dot name TV equals to item dot display name. Same way, holder dot binding dot number TV equals to item dot number. And in on create view holder, we can just simply return my view holder, and inside that item contact binding dot inflate, and we can use layout inflator dot from parent dot context, and we will have parent, and we don't want this to be attached to root. So yeah, that's it for our, well, something is wrong. Name TV dot text. We need to call this dot text method. Alright, so okay, it's still giving us some sort of error. I don't know what is this. There it is. Let me just reformat the file. Okay, so we are done with our Recyclerview adapter. That's basic stuff, so I'm not gonna explain everything again and again. So now the main thing, if we have permissions, we can display the list of contacts that we fetch from the phone. We can display them to Recyclerview. So for that, inside this we gonna write binding.apply. First we have RCV. Okay, in activity main we have to have Recyclerview, that I almost forgot about. So let's have Recyclerview, match parent and ID will be RCV contact. I'll go back to main activity. Oh, main activity RCV contact.apply. We are gonna have layout manager equals to linear layout manager, and we need to pass this at main activity. As we are inside the RCV contact.apply block, we just cannot pass just this. We have to pass this at main activity, so we need the context of this main activity. That's why. Anyway, we need two more variables here on the top that we're going to create. One is the array list. So array list of type array list of contact model. We are gonna initialize this with the empty array list. So empty array list of, and then we also need RCV adapter of type RCV adapter equals to RCV adapter, and we're gonna pass empty array list as of now. Then we have to assign adapter to this Recyclerview equals to RCV adapter array list. Okay, so now that we have set up our Recyclerview, we can get the contacts. So we can call get contact function that we haven't created yet. So this is basically the main function of this video. So here we're gonna fetch the contact list from our phone. So first of all, I want our array list to be clear, because I don't want duplicates of our contacts. If you don't clear array list before adding that, adding anything to that, it will just duplicate things. So let's clear, so that that's why we have cleared the array list first. Now we can have a cursor variable that will be equals to this dot content resolver. So once we have content resolver, we can query that, and our query will be contact contract dot common data kind dot phone dot contact URI. So what this line will do is this will give us the content URI, the path of the location where our contact list is saved on our phone. So it will take us to that location in our phone, and once we have that location, we can fetch the array of that certain particular things from that file, from that location. So we want contract dot common data kinds dot phone dot display name. Then we also want let me just duplicate this line. We also want number. So we want these two fields. You can fetch many more fields as of whatever you like there is ID, there is title, and there are a lot of things that you can fetch depending on your need, right? So but for this tutorial, I'm just gonna fetch display name and number, and other two arguments will be null for us, because we don't have to do anything with that. And the last argument will be contract dot common data kinds dot phone dot display name. Right, so now that we have a cursor of the phone numbers from our phone, we can loop through that cursor. So while cursor instead okay, it is a bit tricky to loop through this cursor, because cursor is kind of a you know, if you see, it is, if it was giving us a list, we could have used for loop to look through that, but it's a cursor. You can read about the cursor data type online. So the way to loop through cursor is to use while loop and use the function. Obviously we need to check if it is null, and definitely it will not be null at this stage. And while cursor can move next, uh, we will keep running the code inside while loop. So that's how we can loop through the cursor. So contact name will be cursor dot get string, and inside this we'll use cursor dot get column index, and in column index we'll pass contact contract dot common data kinds dot um, phone dot contact name display name, sorry, display name. And the same way we will have a contact number, and instead of display name we'll just pass number. So yeah, we have this too. Now we can create a contact object, contact model object equals to contact model, and we can pass contact name in. The first thing is name, and contact number. There we go. Now we can add this contact model to our array list. So our array list dot add contact model. So now we also need to notify our Recyclerview adapter that we have added something in our array list. So our array list, our set of data is changed. So we can write rcv adapter dot notify dataset change, and I know that you are aware of this. And most important thing is to close this cursor, because it will lead to memory leaks and a whole lot of troubles if you don't close this. Okay, so yeah, I think that's it. And we can run the application and see if we get the list of data that we desire. Okay, the application is run. Okay, so I don't know, I always forget about this. The reason why it crashed is because we haven't mentioned permissions in manifest. So we need to do that. Even though we are handling permission dynamically using easy permission, we have to give permissions here in manifest anyway. So we need to mention read contact and write contact permissions. Yeah, we don't need write contact for this functionality, but I'm just giving that. Just okay, so our application is launched, so we can allow, and there you go, we have one contact. As this is just an emulator, I just have one contact in. I can show you in my phone book as well. Let's go there. There it is, contacts test, and if I open our application, it will give us test, and just to check, it's end with 8998. And if I go here, test, it says 8998. So yeah, that's how you fetch the list of contacts from your phone to your application using Recyclerview and Cursor. So basically, to wrap it up, our main function is this. After handling permissions, this function is the key of this tutorial, I would say. First we have we clear the array list. Obviously that's related to Recyclerview, so let's not talk about that. Then we get to the content resolver, and we get to the location of the phone numbers that are stored in our phone. We get to that location, we get the URI, and we query them with the set of information that we want. Then once we have that in Cursor, once we have that in Cursor, we can loop through Cursor while the cursor can move next. We can fetch those details, and we can apply that to array list, and at the end we just close the cursor. So yeah, that's how you fetch the contact list, and that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next video.